All right, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mike Lindsley here at Rosie's Corner in Brewerton. If you're in and around Central New York, make sure you get down here and try their awesome pizza and wing combinations on NFL Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays, and now starting up on Saturdays this week because, let's face it, we can't have enough football for 3 days over a 7-day week period. You can get great food for just $40. You spend $40, you get a one-topping large pizza, a 24-wing count, large chef salad, and a 2-liter soda. All that's for just $40. Pretty awesome deal. And you can also get some gift cards here for the holidays. They've got their special going on today, the haddock. They've got mac and cheese for Friday. They have pork. They have chicken and biscuits. They have hot and cold subs across the board. So make sure you get here to Rosie's Corner, the official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. I want to get into what the Buffalo Bills should do in the NFL draft and really, what some of the options, especially in the first round, are. When you look at this team right now, picking around the fourth spot, as of today, they look like they're going to pick around the fourth or fifth or sixth spot. We still have a couple of games to go. They've got Detroit, they've got Miami and New England left. Detroit, New England, Miami left, and it's home. The Bills are 4-9, so I would assume that maybe they're going to finish 5-11 or 6-10. Pardon me. And I think when you look at it, the Bills, they have Trey White on one side. He's a star-studded cornerback from LSU. To me, if you have that high of a pick, you've got to take a guy who you think is going to be in the NFL for 10 years. If you're picking that high in the draft, there are enough can't-miss guys at that point who are going to be in the NFL for a very, very long time. The Bills definitely need help in multiple areas, but one of those areas is the secondary, putting another corner on the other side of Trey White. And who better to go with than Greedy Williams? This guy has got unbelievable hands. He's got great awareness, great quickness and speed. If you put him on the other side of Trey White, now you've got potentially two shutdown corners for the Buffalo Bills. That to me would be a very wise pick for Brandon Beane in the first round. The other area you could see the Bills going is offensive line with Jonah Williams. Remember, this is a team, and again, by the way, I'm going to talk about Williams, just to give you a quick idea. But there's two Williamses out at Alabama, and we know that Alabama wins the way they win because of being bigger and better than you in the trenches and being more mechanically sound and all the rest, handling the fundamentals. That's really where it starts and ends in the SEC. You can tell me all day long about athletes who have come through like Cam Newton and Tim Tebow and Julio Jones, but the flat-out reality of the situation is it starts up front, and there's nobody better in college football right now as an offensive tackle than Jonah Williams. This guy can help the Buffalo Bills in more ways than one. You can put him on either side of the offensive line. This right side that the Bills have this year has struggled mightily. Every single time they try to run with Sean McCoy, he's got nowhere to go. Every single time they try to, work screens off to that right side, there's always extra pressure coming in on Josh Allen, and you need to protect Josh Allen more than he's being protected right now. Now, granted, part of that might have to do with him not running out of the pocket as much, but you get what I'm saying. If you add Jonah Williams, you add another big, beefy guy up to the front line for this Bills team, you put him there with the growth of Deion Dawkins. You put him there with the growth of the centers. You put him there in terms of trying to put that whole thing together. The Bills could really benefit from adding an offensive lineman as well. Another guy you might want to look at is Quinnen Williams out of Alabama. He's a defensive tackle who, let's be honest, can just absolutely stuff the line of scrimmage and then allow defensive ends or edge linebackers to come around and make plays. Remember, that was a formula that the Baltimore Ravens had back in 2000. They had Sam Adams and Tony Siragusa, and they just basically clogged everything up, and then it was Ray Lewis and company just making serious plays, forcing the quarterback in a bad situation, stopping the run, creating turnovers, and all the rest. Maybe that's the situation for the Bills, and don't forget, Kyle Williams is probably done this year. So you might have to look at the next guy up front. Quinnen Williams could be a major player out of Alabama for the Buffalo Bills. But the reality of the situation is this is a weak draft when it comes down to overall play on the offensive side of the football. The Bills do need a lot of weapons to help Josh Allen. I think they should go into free agency maybe, or pull a trade. I recently read Ryan Talbot's piece on New York Upstate about how he thinks that they should go trade for Bengals wide receiver A.J. Green. I would not be opposed to that. Maybe you make a trade for A.J. Green. You give a couple of picks later in the draft, in 2020 draft, for him. Maybe you trade down in this draft. Maybe the Bills, and they're if they're going to pick 4 or 5, maybe you trade down to like 11 or 12. Hope that one of the 3 guys I mentioned is available. If they're not, you go in a different direction, and then you try to build up some wide receivers and some linemen, and maybe find a studded corner in the 4th or 5th round, a diamond in the rough type. Maybe that's the direction that Brandon Beane goes. But the Bills, their primary focus should be basically getting weapons for Josh Allen, the offensive line, and in my opinion, the secondary. I think the next thing to focus on will be that front line of the defense in terms of replacing Akai Williams and adding more depth to it. But to me, those big 3 spots are right there in any particular order, in my opinion. Now, yes, the major concern is when you think you have your quarterback, you need to protect your quarterback. You need to get weapons around your quarterback. That is priority number 1, no question. But I'm here to tell you that in a pass-happy league and all the rest, a quarterback league, the offense is crazy. The rules are benefiting the offense. By the same token, you also have to have your defense stopping people. You have to have your defense getting after the quarterback, rushing the quarterback, and then having guys who can cover people in the secondary. That's become even more important now, even if you can't even breathe on anybody if you're a corner or any defensive player in general. But in my opinion, the Bills, Greedy Williams, Quinnen Williams, Jonah Williams, I would be happy as a Bills fan with any of those guys. The priority is to help Josh Allen. The priority is to get him weapons and protection up there in front of the offensive line. And then obviously I would get a shutdown corner to put on the other side of Trey White. By the way, Greedy Williams is skipping the bowl game for the LSU Tigers. Very, very smart move in my opinion. And he's gotten the defense of his team for not playing in the game. We've seen that a lot this year in college football. It started a couple years ago, that trend. Remember, Will Grier is also not playing as the quarterback of West Virginia against Syracuse in the Camping World Bowl for the same reason, just prepping and getting set for the NFL draft. So that's it for the Bills. That's what I would do. And by the way, one other example in terms of when you really have a quarterback. Now, granted, Andrew Luck is much more advanced than Josh Allen is, but the concept is the same. Andrew Luck was out for a while, had the shoulder problem. The Colts delayed the surgery. They finally had him get it. It became a total shit show when he was going to get it done. Finally, he gets it done, and now he's back. He's got Frank Reich as his head coach, who's basically an offensive coordinator working inside that job title. Plus, you're looking at the offensive line. They went out and got help on the offensive line with Quentin Nelson and company. And look at now, the Colts went from last year being one of the 3 worst offensive lines in the NFL to being one of the top 7 in the NFL this year by getting a couple guys up front. So maybe the Bills need to go offensive line first. I would be happy with either of those guys I just mentioned, but if Greedy Williams is on the board, I'd get him because he just seems to be more of a can't-miss guy than Jonah Williams and Quinnen Williams. If they do elect to go offensive line, if they did elect to go D-line, I would understand it, but Greedy Williams seems to be a little bit more of a can't-miss prospect in the NFL. I'm Mike Lindsley, 9 Minutes with Me, IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. I am here at Rosie's Corner. This place is amazing. The official pizza shop and proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. Get down here. Get their pizza and wing combinations. Don't forget, on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday NFL days, you can get the ML Sports Platter package. Spend $40. You get a large one-topping pizza, 24 wings, large chef salad, and a 2-liter soda. You can come down to get the haddock. You can get the mac and cheese on Fridays, chicken and biscuits, and all the rest during the week. Hot and cold subs and gift cards available for the holidays. Rosie's Corner, Brewerton. Get here right off of the Bartell Road exit on Route 11, and gift cards are available for the holidays as well. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.